We here with it.
Hey.
Episode, what's this? This 32.
Woo.
Dang.
30,
Getting up
32
there.
degrees.
32 degrees. It feel like 50 today though. Woo. You feel me? We got the incense burning, sage lit, spiritual. You feel me?
Yes.
We here with the spiritual goddess.
Aww.
The legend for real. She's a legend. Very legend. Like, we need more people like her. You feel me? Queen. You feel me? To be more exact. You feel me? We got the lovely lady Monet here.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You feel me? Oh wait, damn! Did I introduce myself?
No, you didn't.
I didn't though.
Yeah, you didn't.
Damn! See, I tried to do it different this time. You feel me?
It's
Try to
so
do it
good.
different.
Tell them about yourself.
You feel me? Welcome to the show, Mad City. You feel me? We here with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one and only Buddha. You know what I'm saying? Like today, we're gonna break down a few things. You know, on this lovely Saturday. You feel me? We're gonna talk about financial wealth. Because health is wealth, right?
Most definitely.
It's definitely. So, like, let's see, what can we start off with? Let's say, because, like, you know, you've been through you have a lot of things, like, a lot of entities, like, you feel me? Like, you worked a lot of places, gained a lot of knowledge, and now you spreading the knowledge. So, like, let's start it off. Where you from? Like, where are you from originally?
So my father was in the military, so that question's always a little hard for me because I don't really relate to anywhere, right? So I say I'm an alien, but I was born in Mannheim, Germany, and I lived there till about like between 9 and 13. I was back and forth in transitioning from moving. So I lived in New York, upstate. Then we moved to Maryland, like in Waldorf. And then I've been in DC for the last 8 years.
Oh, so you've been in Waldorf?
Yeah, I went to high school in Waldorf.
What high school?
Thomas Stone. Yeah, Thomas Stone.
See, I went to Westlake.
Oh, you went to Westlake.
See?
Look at
now
that.
Look though, she went to Thomas Stone.
I know, right? Our rivals. We was definitely rivals. But I got a lot of good friends at Westlake.
That's what's up though. Shout out to Waldorf.
Yeah, shout out to Waldorf. Waldorf is actually coming up over the years, like.
Right, got in the stores.
Yes.
Got some stores out there though. I don't know if somebody tried to bring it to the gun store out there though.
Yeah, no, really, Leah, like last week or something.
Yeah, they wild. But let's get back to it. So you moved around a lot. You feel me? So you landed in DC. You feel me? So like.
Oh yeah, I went to college in Baltimore too. So I've been throughout the DMV.
Okay.
DM, not the V.
What was your major in college?
Digital art and design. Yeah.
Okay. So you're a creator.
Yep, literally. My dream was, as a child, I was fascinated with cartoons. I would wake up every day at 9 a.m. and I still have this internal clock, 9 a.m. to watch Rugrats. Like
Rugrats?
To watch Rugrats. I love me some Nickelodeon.
With a bowl of cereal.
Yeah. No, literally a bowl of cereal, and I would sit and I would lie down and eat my cereal. And watch it. And so I wanted to always work for Viacom, and coincidentally, like currently I work with BET. So I kind of reached that goal.
You can't just go past it.
Yeah,
like,
jumped it.
Like you just jump.
But like, it happens. Time happens.
So how did you get to BET? Like, cause you work for like the BET. You feel me? So like, how did you even get to that level? Like, did you have to like know somebody? Like, how did you work your way?
Most definitely. It's who you know. And who you know doesn't necessarily mean like if you're from somewhere you can't get somewhere else. It's really networking and putting yourself out there to meet people. So I have a really great mentor. She is amazing. I'm not going to say her name just for confidentiality because I don't know what I might talk about on this podcast. But she's an amazing woman. And shout out to her. Yeah, shout out to her. I interned with her at Project Create in Southeast. I will say that. Okay. It was a after school arts program. So I entered there as a graphic designer. And then fast forward, just many years later, we kept in touch. And so when I left DOT, we'll talk about that too. I worked at the Department of Transportation. That's where I had met him.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
When I left there, and I just reached out like, hey, I'm in need of some stuff, and she's like, well, I can help out. We need some part-time work. Blah 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 blah. And that relationship, from me doing that internship, 10 years later. Now I landed the gig.
So it started as an internship.
at a different place. She just works with BET now, so she was
Okay.
able to pull strings. Yeah.
So what was you doing before you worked at BET?
So before BET,
You were just
right
creating
before,
art?
yeah, before that, I did a contract with Essence. And then before that, I was working at the Department of Transport. Well, I skipped something too. I worked so many. I worked at Custom Ink, a T-shirt printing place.
Oh, so you was with the plug?
I was with the plug. I learned a lot about T-shirts. Got a lot of free merch. I got a cup of true Kardashian or True Thompson, her birthday party cup. Like, I don't know how, but it's like we printed stuff for a lot of people. So
shout out to Custom Ink.
Yeah, Custom Ink was lit. And then, but before that, I was at the Department of Transportation. I was a graphic designer for the Secretary of Transportation at the time.
So how does that work though? Because like, you know, when you think of Department of Transportation, you think of like cars, working,
Metro.
you know, Metro, you know, you're not thinking of what you say.
Yeah, so I was doing
creator, right?
Yeah, graphic design. So I was creating stuff. So like, especially when COVID first hit, we were making all the signs to tell people to like wash your hands, don't touch stuff, make sure you got your mask on. So like, we were creating graphics for the Secretary of of Transportation. So all of her events, and there was a lot of different types of events. If it wasn't from the actual modes of transportation, so like PHMSA, pipeline, all the modes, it's 10 modes of transportation. And also they would have events where different high schools would come and like, you know, you go to the place and see what people do for their job, stuff like that. I was making brochures and stuff.
So you was making sure, basically the visual of the information was getting out.
Yeah, yep. And if they had like invites to events, because they had a lot of events. The government, they have events. They got events.
They got money.
So
they got that money.
They had so many events, and like, you know, with the stage, with the flags and the artwork, that's the big banners and stuff. We were designing all that stuff.
But was their motive was to help like creators create? Like, was that their main priority?
So no, yes and no. Interestingly enough, I got the job because I was a creative, not because I was a government person. But once I got in there, they don't support creatives really. Like, I would get in trouble for leaving my desk. A lot of my jobs I got in trouble for leaving the desk, but I had to get out and get some sunlight. Like, I can't be in a cubicle with no window. Like, where I was at, no windows. The print shop, we have to dress up, but then we're printing, you know, like big things and like in the print shop, right? So it wasn't really pretty, but ultimately no. Like they say they want it.
Right.
Like I say, people want the creative, but they don't like the crazy. It comes with the creativity. Like, you can't separate it.
So you losing your mind in that.
Fuck yeah. Excuse my language.
You can curse on it. You can curse.
Yes, I was losing my mind, and that's how I met him. Because one day I just had to take a break, and I would walk outside, and I seen him in his dope. He was just looking cool. Like, he looked like I'm cool, and I'm like, "What are you doing over here?" And he's like, "What you doing over here?" Like,
this down Navy yard. You feel me? Like in the summertime. Like.
So we ended up linking, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he lit." Like, he inspired me so much. His designs, Mad City, his vision. So fast forward, we here now, but I'm not at DOT no more, and
So that's true. So you left because you was doing like
Yeah, I had a mental breakdown.
Right.
Like, I had an extreme mental breakdown. I went ghost for real. They didn't pay me for my last few weeks. They like did me dirty. What? But I was mentally not there.
No, and we ain't supporting DOT.
Hey, but it was just like I also wasn't voicing, my mental health wasn't right, so I wasn't voicing my concerns maturely. I just kind of sunk and then was screaming for help. And you know, when you're underwater and you scream, you drown.
So they wasn't taking you serious with the mental health? Like, they wasn't like...
Yeah, it was just like, get this work done. Like, you know, that's besides the point. Like, you know, let's get this work done. Like, they didn't care. They don't care.
So you feel like we should focus more on mental health? Like,
heck yeah.
Like, how important is that? Like,
it's really important. Actually,
especially working at a job, like government job, like...
and Custom Make, that made me think. Custom Make was actually really good about mental health. Like, they had a lot of stuff in place for you. They had a relaxation room. They had a doctor's office at the actual site, so if you weren't feeling good, you could go in and get a little appointment. Right. They had snacks galore. Like, they had snacks, and once a week they catered food for us. Like, that was the most litty situation.
But you do know, right? and this is why I asked you that, because what made you want to go to, you know, you over here Viacom BT, you over here Custom Ink, you know, with the creators, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to treat y'all right, have snacks, water, juice, Chinese assistant, you know what I'm
snacks.
saying?
That's all. Like, just give us some snacks.
You feel me? Snacks. So, you know, that's all creators want, you know, make sure we straight out here. But, you know, you went on the dark side, the government, you feel me? So what made you, was it because of like the financial stability?
Yes.
Was it like, what made you want to go over there? Like,
so the financial stability, most definitely. I got paid big bank there. And then I was raised in the military, so
what you mean raised in the military?
So my dad was in the military, so I grew up on military bases. Once I got to America, except for Waldorf, but I grew up on military bases. Like, they call people civilians. Like, if you're not a part of the military, like, it's a very different world that I've only recently started to like double think, like, what is going on behind the gates of the
start getting hip to things. Like, hold on now, this ain't what it was supposed to be.
So I had a clearance at the time, and I was able to get the job. So like I had the qualifications. I was a candidate. They actually reached out to me. I didn't even apply. Like, they reached out to me. Right. And at that time I wasn't working, and I was like, okay. And it was the money, and I was like, yeah, okay. But then I found out.
Then you like, nah. So then we get to what we doing now, like the Forex. You feel me? The cryptocurrency. So like I said, I see you in the digital marketing games such as Forex and Bitcoin. So let's all, like, what made you want to do that? Like, what made you want to go into a whole different field? You know, because you still creating, but now it's a different ball game now.
Yeah.
So what made you want to get into that?
So one of my mentors who I can speak on, Kia Green, she's a good friend of mine. She got into Forex, and so she's also a creative, a painter, a digital artist. So I seen her doing what I wanted to do: travel, making art, being in different places. And then I'm like, dang, like, how is she doing that? Like, I'm working these jobs with all this rank, and I'm like tired. I don't get no days off. I'm not exploring. I'm not living life. I'm stuck in a cubicle, and here's somebody just being free, like looking like being free.
Like, I can do that.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? And so I asked her about it, and she told me. And because I've been a conspiracy theorist, and I've always been into other information, when I saw it, she had to explain shit to me. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm in. Like, I'm learning. Right. And so ever since then, I haven't looked back.
But what got you intrigued with getting into Forex? Because, like, you know, the average person, when they hear Forex, they either don't know, or if they do know, they not really trying to get into it because they know they think it's a scam or whatever. But what they don't know is it's a 6.6 trillion market.
Ooh, yeah.
Let me say that again. 6.6 trillion.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
So the conspiracy theorist part, like, I always wonder, society, like, what is this that we're living in and stuff. And so when I realized, okay,
like the Matrix.
Yeah, like the Matrix. And I realized, like, okay, currency. I was born in Germany, so I totally understood the idea of foreign exchange. Like, you had to do that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because you coming from Germany. It's what they use over there. They use French,
Euro,
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, all that. And so I knew that it was something different going on. And so once I saw, like, okay, you can make a profit in this, and then I learned, and it looked like stocks. I never knew really what stocks was, but it looked like stuff that I seen rich people do. And so I was like, okay. And then when I did my research, you know, for the foreign exchange actually started during Babylonian times. So for the way that life has been, like, moving around full circle, it's extremely
Wait, what time is that? Babylonian? That's
Babylonian is like the beginning of the Bible.
I say, you gotta go back to history.
Yeah, like Babylonian times is back when they were trying to build a tower to get to God, and then he said that, you know, he broke down the tower or whatever, and he split everybody up and made them speak different languages, and that's why we all separated. That's one theory. But trading has been going on for a while, and they touch on in the academy that I'm a part of, like how before people used to trade work, like, you know, I'm gonna do this for you, you do this for me.
Right.
I'm gonna grow these plants, you gonna grow these plants, now we can both eat.
Right.
Then it started to be like, okay, this rock, I like this mineral, like from the earth, like I'm gonna sell this mineral for this action or whatever.
Right, you just trading commodities for what you already got.
And then we got into trading slave labor, right? Unfortunately. So it's like the circle's going back. We're reclaiming, like we're still being sold into labor, but we are reclaiming, like we have choices, kind of. Right,
but you feel like this world we live in now, like you feel like it's meant for us to feel, as far as black people, just for everybody.
Well, I think it is meant. It's set up for us to stay complacent, to stay comfortable, to stay asleep, to not question anything, and just go to work 40 hours.
Right, just go to work. Like,
yeah.
Because people, that's life. That's the crazy thing, like, and you could probably speak more about this, like, because Forex, you don't really have to leave your house. Like, you just,
as long as you got Wi-Fi,
on your phone.
Yeah, as long as you got Wi-Fi, you're set to go. And that just is crazy because so many people are grandfathered into this process, meaning their parents did it, they know about it, their brother, uncle, somebody's telling them about it, or they just getting the benefits from it, or they might pay an investor to do it for them, and have been circulating their money. They say every community, or especially the Jewish people, they circulate their money at least 7 times within their community. So what does that look like? They get paid, they go to their own store, they go to their own entertainment, they do their own things, and then they give their money to Amazon. Like, they're not straight just giving their money
Black people
away.
Don't do that?
We give our money straight away. Like, we go straight to the corner store, we go straight to the liquor store, we go straight to Gucci, we go straight to everywhere else. But now, like, this new buy black movement and stuff like that, it's changing. I'm extremely happy to see that because we make everything anyway. So it's a beautiful thing. But overall, we wasn't doing that 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It's a newer thing.
So how long you been doing Forex for? Like?
So I've been in for about 5 months. About 5 months. I'm still a baby. I'm still new to it, but I'm just so excited because I knew there was a way. To make more money then. Like, I went to college. I got my degree. I did everything everybody say you're supposed to do to the fullest extent. I worked for the government. I did everything. I worked for the Navy before too. I ain't even talk about that. I worked so many different jobs that you're supposed to want to have. But I'm still, like, depressed.
Right, you're still not happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they say you're supposed to work at a job that you're happy with. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So, like, you wasn't happy with that. So, like, that's why I asked you that question. Like, you feel like we just used to working, like, you feel me? Like, so, like, when you don't have to work, you feel like that's, like, too good. Like, people just act like, nah, I'm not going to do that. They rather work for their money harder.
Yeah, we're trained to think that that's what success is. Right. But if you really look at any entrepreneur, if you look at any millionaire, billionaire, they did not do what you do. They did not. And most of them even could have started late. Like, you didn't have to be a millionaire since 12, since 15. Some people didn't start getting money until their 30s, 40s, 50s, but they did not do what we did. And if they did it for a short amount of time. They learned and they were like, nah. Right. And they took over.
So with the currencies, right? Mm-hmm. Since you was coming from Germany, how was that like, you feel me, like trying to switch up to American dollars? Because is Germany currency more valuable than U.S.? So it fluctuates, but I'm not too deep into that. It fluctuates, and I've been looking at the span of the prices, like the difference in between them. But it fluctuates, it changes. But I feel like American dollar is about to go down. Like, it's gonna tank, and it's gonna be cryptocurrencies that are taking over. Like, a dollar ain't nothing but a piece of paper anyways. They make up money. And then you think about, I just saw a meme about this, about the stimulus, right? Like, okay, we're in debt. Next thing you know, they got billions of dollars to spread around to people.
But what we do with that money, give it right back to them. So it is a stimulus. It's stimulating the economy, but it's a false sense of security. Like, that's not real. Like, the dollar's not backed by gold anymore.
So cash is not where is that?
Yeah, nope. Everything is Apple Pay, digital pay. You're not even really seeing physical money no more.
I use during this pandemic, keep my mask on. You know what I mean? That's all I do. Like, so why is this not being transitioning? Why is this information not being transferred in the Black community? Like, why are we still shopping at Hadid's while we can go to Frank's?
I think it's a lack of awareness and the communication within our community. We don't really know what's going on, and we just go with the flow. And we are so traumatized and targeted anyways. Like, I'm able to have these thoughts and conversations because my father, he joined the military. He joined when he was like at the oldest, 30 something, like at the last year. He tried to do everything else first. And when it didn't work, he was like, okay, he joined the military. And he sacrificed a lot, even our relationship growing up.
You had good people around you.
Yeah, so he sacrificed so that I could see things differently. But not everybody parent can do that, you know. So
you feel like you got an advantage because you was exposed to like
early
Germany, like going different countries, different cities, you know.
Most definitely.
Because I'm the same way. You feel me? I traveled a lot, moved around a lot, and I feel like that gave me like more. That's like a flex a little bit because like you can like go different places, be good in those different places instead of being good at one entity. There's no wrong with that, but if you're not like. If you ain't doing nothing on that one block, and I'm doing something on 10 blocks, that tell you something right there. You feel me? Like, I might not be as long as you was on that first block that you still continue on, but I made a difference on all those blocks.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So like that's why I like back to the, you know what I'm saying, the Forex. So like, what's the process of it? Like, how do you get in this? Like, cause like I see people do different teams, people do it by themselves. So how did you get into it? Like when you're Ms. Green, right? So what happened with Ms. Green? That she was like, yo, just join Forex, come with us, or you was like how was you feeling? Was you like, nah, it's a scam?
Nah.
Like, was you?
I knew it wasn't a scam because I've been scammed. Like, I knew that wasn't a scam.
What you mean you've been scammed?
I've been scammed before in life. I've been scammed with businesses. I've been scammed. I've been scammed. So like, I know it wasn't a scam. But she is a part of a team, Money Moves Only. I'm a part of that team as well now. And she invited me to an event. I went to an event and they talked about
Monet.
Money Monet. Money Moves Only. So she invited me to an event. I get to meet other people who are doing it. And what we are part of is an educational platform. You can do it by yourself, but even I had a friend that I've met who she lost $500 in one day doing it by herself. And so then she joined the academy because it's like, you have to learn somewhere. Like, if we just knew how to do it just like this, we would be doing it.
And what's it called? IMG?
I am. We used to be iMarkets Live, but IMA Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the academy I'm a part of.
That's a basketball team. IMG.
And yeah, so they have classes. They have live trading where instructors will trade with their own money too. So like, you can see people doing it. They have 100 through 400 level classes. We also have an amazing community, and then we have apps that like will send you signals as well. So you're in a team of people, like, and that's another thing. We don't work together. So my team specifically focused on group economics. Like, it's no fun unless we all get some, right? So we're working together to build the skill sets up so that now you have a team of people hitting the market. So we hit the charts, hitting the charts together. Some people still do it alone, and at times I still trade alone. But
is it better
it's like
trading
a sports
alone?
squad.
Is it better trading alone or doing it with a team?
So it's on people because some people it's.
All right, so we was talking about the IM Academy, right? Now, one thing I do know about the IM Academy, you have to pay $250, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
so all right, so talk about the process of that, because like what I think I know is what people do is they get on the team and they tell you, hey, come on the team. You pay $250, right? Now, say I'm the person that recruited you, right? That $250 will go towards me, right? Pay my little bill off, right, for the month, right?
So no. All right, so let me explain that. So real quickly, the products that you're offer is 100 through 400 level education. So you have tons of videos. Like you have, it's an academy first before anything. So you're getting educated first. You have classes. So you have the education that you can tap in and watch. Then every day, except for there's not really much on Saturday because the markets is closed, but they got them on Friday and Sunday. Every day teachers go live. We have over 100 educators that go live, and they either are doing live analysis where they're looking at the charts with you, taking trades with you, or it's just straight education. Like you can ask questions and stuff.
And they got like all the things like the indicators.
Yeah, the teacher, because each teacher kind of has their own strategy because there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Right.
It's just the different indicators read different levels of what's happening.
But what you need the teachers for if y'all already in the team.
So, because the team, I was an A student. I was an honor student. So I'm not looking at your paper. Like I'm not looking at your paper. I'm going to learn for myself. Like you're getting, like they say, you show a man to fish, he eat for the day. You teach a man to fish, he eat for a lifetime. So if I'm going to just give you my cheat code, I'm enabling you. You're going to now rely on me whenever you hungry. I'm not about to do that for you. We set people up for independence. So Money Moves Only, we say we're the only organization of CEOs. Like everybody's a CEO. You come in a boss. Like we're not handicapping you. Jobs handicap you. And you only learn the one little task.
Quit my job, go to Forex.
Yeah, you only learn that one little task and you think you good. You get a false sense of security. No, you don't know nothing. And then when you leave that job, they don't give about you. Like they find somebody else to replace you.
That's a fact.
So
I always say that they just temporarily.
You can't get replaced. Once that knowledge is in your mind and you know how to read the charts, you don't need nobody. But the whole thing about group economics is what great civilization like made it with one person. It never works like that. It's a team. That's why the government, you got the president, but as we see, the president don't do nothing, doesn't really have say.
They got the House, Congress.
All of that around them. So you need a team of people.
Cabinet,
And then things are always changing. And like when you look at the charts, it's current. It's not, we're not looking at stuff from yesterday unless we're back testing. But like it's literally
it's 24, right?
Yeah, 24/7. It's literally happening right now. So we say we don't predict what's happening. We just react. Because what happens in the past happens in the future. And as you start laying out your marking your charts, you'll see the different price points that it hits. It did it in the past.
Right.
It's just repeating itself. So what we do is we're learning how to catch those waves. We're preparing to catch those waves. Yeah, you may take some losses, but we're getting to the point where you get more wins than losses, right? Yeah. And when you're together with a team, they just lost, they went the wrong way. I'm not about to do that. I'm gonna learn from them and I'm gonna go the other way. Or I'm gonna wait it out. Maybe it's too volatile right now. That's another part. The Forex market, when I started learning, one of the first things they showed me, Forex Factory, it's a free website.
Forex Factory?
Yeah, Forex Factory is a free website where you can go and see what's going to be on the news. Like what's happening. Like if they're talking about money, talking about unemployment checks, talking about energy, like the big things that maneuver the market is already scheduled out. As a regular person, you don't know that. Like you watch the news on the daily to see what happened today, but like the news anchors say the same stuff. They already got it written out. So Forex really opened my mind, like the Matrix. And some people still thought the Matrix, when the Matrix movie came out, people was thinking it's a conspiracy. That ain't real. And now 20 years later, it's like, red pill, blue pill. Which one did I take? It still was always there. You was just choosing to be ignorant. At one point, you didn't know, and you were ignorant. But once you know, you can't unknow.
Yeah, some people might take both pills.
Yeah, right. And then that's on them, but you're going to get the side effects, whatever that is.
You feel me? But, let's talk about, because you're on social media heavy, you feel me? You have promos, commercials, you feel me? You promote heavily, especially with the Forex, you know what I'm saying? And with your creative abilities, with your paintings and your music, things like that. So how important is social media nowadays for a creator and an entrepreneur? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you help monetize with the social media?
Lord, so that's something I'm still learning. And I seen a meme the other day that's saying like the idea of content creation is like one of the worst things that happen for artists, because now our art, right? So you're an artist. When I first started drawing, you draw out your feelings, you draw out your emotions, you draw
like your soul.
Yeah,
like your soul.
How you feel.
Right.
Then when I went to college and I learned art, now you create for other people. Like, I'm making your logo, I'm making your something, I'm drawing a portrait of you that has to look exactly like you.
Right.
Like
you're saying their vision.
Yeah.
In a sort of way. Like you see, like you got their vision, but like
all of that.
Like
and so then now with social media and content creating, they've deduced art to content, and now you're just making content for entertainment instead of really being able to free people's minds. So I'm working to change that narrative, but I didn't even think that deep about it until I read that meme, and I'm like, damn, it's true. Because now this is TikTok, like, you know what I mean? This is all they're doing and shit.
Right.
And they're getting paid tons of money for just doing this, distracting you like this.
But you get paid for painting too, though.
So
they get music
perhaps. But like the thing is, and that's why I stopped. I chilled on painting because I'm painting these amazing photos to people that don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? I'm selling my paintings for $70, $100. Woo. So with a little more influence, a little more old money, can throw a paintbrush, throw paint on it, and sell that shit for 70 million. Somebody can, like, it's different eras. So it's like, it's true, but it's not true. I was starved. I was a starving artist. Like, you get what I'm saying? And my art is worth so much.
Well, that's why they got now. We're gonna talk about it later, but we can talk about it briefly right now, like NFTs.
Yeah, NFTs, and I'm getting into that too.
Okay.
One of my homies does it, Maps Glover. I always shout him out because he went to Westlake actually. A really
What's
great guy, Maps Glover.
Maps?
Yeah, MAPS, Maps Glover.
Maps?
Yeah, Maps is so cool.
Hi, Maps.
Yeah,
and so, Maps.
Yeah, Maps. He did his first NFT the other day, and it's a small animation. And so I'm looking to get into that, but then the other thing about the NFT is now you're really on the grid. Like,
what you mean?
They're basically minting a digital coin for your piece. Wherever that piece goes, it has a receipt now. Like,
okay, can you talk a little more? I mean to cut you off, but can you talk a little more about NFTs? Like what is NFTs to start off with? Like, for people that don't know, people that have been living under a rock.
Yeah, right. Yeah. NFTs, I actually don't know what the actual abbreviation stands for, but it is a new way that digital artists are putting their artwork out. It creates a blockchain, which is basically like coding for your piece. So if you buy it from me, I can put in the coding that if you ever resell it, I get a commission. Or I can know electronically where it's been all over the world. Whereas people steal people's pictures on Instagram all day and just repost them and make money off other people. With NFTs, you can't do that because it's digital. I'll be able to know you posted my stuff. So like, that's cool, but it also plays directly into like not being human, like not being.
So you're
real.
saying it's not good? NFTs
I say I'm for it. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna work towards it. It does cost. There's money to do it, but then the fucked up part is that to create an NFT, the actual minting process that happens, like when people say they mint mining bitcoins and stuff, the mining process uses an extraordinary amount of fossil fuels. Right. So if we talk about climate change or like, we need to use hybrid cars.
That's going to affect.
But then we do it NFTs. We're just
this
hypocritical. Yeah, like it's fucked up. So in that sense, it's like
because with NFTs, right? You don't get, like, say if you sold your painting, right? You don't get cash. Like you don't get.
Oh yes, digital currency. You get Ethereum. Mm-hmm.
Right. You get like cryptocurrency.
You get cryptocurrencies, and that's why it's like we're really going into a cryptocurrency age. So when people are afraid of it, it's just we are afraid of what we don't know, but they're doing it already. So you're gonna be left behind, unfortunately.
So since we're talking about crypto, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's break down some of the cryptocurrencies out here. So like Bitcoin, you know, Ethereum. They got also
Doji or Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, you know.
And, there's a bunch. Reaper. There's a bunch. Peace, love. There's a bunch. And different organizations, and that I haven't even dipped in it as much. So honestly, I'm gonna do some research. So next time I'm gonna know a little bit more. But that's still like human, or like robot made for real. Like it's really stepping into the into the matrix.
Is it more of a financial freedom though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not dollars. You know what I'm saying? So it's not value as cash, but it's more heavily valued though. You just won't get it right now. So like, for example, Bitcoin is about 60,000 right now. But if you invested it, let's say 3 years ago, when it was about, I don't know, maybe 10,000, maybe less than that, like. You feel me?
You'll be up, and a lot of people, and like a lot of gamers, a lot of people are really up off of that, and they're not really gonna speak on it. But you just see these kids selling all these Yeezys and doing all this stuff, and you're like, how are you doing that? Like, what? It's because they knew, and then they kind of kept it a secret, or if they try to tell people, then they are a scammer, and they are a whatever. So they like, fuck it, and they just go get their money on their own, and we see them influencing on Instagram.
Right, so let's talk about some of the cons of Forex. Because, like, you know, sometimes when we get in Forex, you know, we might accidentally come up, but then we might lose all our money.
Yep.
So, let's talk about the risk of doing Forex. It's not just only the pros, like, you can make money, you can live financially free, but at the same time, you can lose it all, too.
Heck yeah. And so, one of my good homies said to me that it brings out either the best in you or the beast in you. And when he said it, it hit, but like over time, it definitely hits harder, because literally trading is 99% spiritual and 1% physical, because all you literally do is press a button. You just literally is pressing a button.
So 99% spiritual.
Yeah, 99% spiritual and 1% physical.
So keep mind.
Yeah, you gotta, and all the millionaires is here. Like the books, Think and Grow Rich, Intelligence, U Squared, like all these books that the influencers read, or, you know, rich people read, is all about your spirituality, not a religion. Right. Don't get me confused. It ain't a religion.
Right. We're not talking about no.
Yeah, we ain't talking.
Like, you know, we let's talk about again, like, black ownership and black generations of wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because this definitely can lead to that. But do you feel like sometimes we might get too focused on it, that we might forget about the surrounding things around us? So
that's true. Yeah, so that's a true thing too. You gotta still remain present, but also you gotta live in your own brain. It's a balance. It's like a seesaw.
Right.
It's a balance of that both. But in the past, and it's very common, it still happens, but you have people who are people of color, but they may have made their own promises, or like alliances with organizations that really don't have our best interests in mind. So when I say that, I mean, sometimes there are like sororities and fraternities, you know, they mean well. Do they? We don't really know. But black people will join that, and now they're higher than regular black people,
right?
Like the bourgeois and stuff.
It's like a status. It's like a hierarchy. Like if you want, like, you got a Beamer and I got a Benz, somebody might want something bigger than that. They might want a Porsche, because it's all about status.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
And all that stuff is people's last name, you know?
Right.
Like, that's people's last names, and we don't do nothing for our last name. We just invest in these other people's last names.
Right.
So that is a curse that we are trying to, we're working on reversing, because we hold our own communities back by doing that. We just playing their game, like we playing their game.
But like, some people don't understand, so you gotta invest in yourself too, because that's where it really start off with. It really start off with you investing in yourself, because you can't focus on what Tommy or Susie or Karen, whatever these people, you can't focus on whatever they trying to do in life. You gotta focus on you, because they not focused on you. They focus on what their mission is. So you gotta focus on yourself, and sometimes you might gotta invest in yourself. That's why I like Forex, because it's one of them situations you really do have to focus, invest, sit down, research, educate. Because if you don't, it's just like you going to the casino. You're going to lose your money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. And we say that there's 3 levels of dependency. So the first one is dependent. When you're first born, you're dependent. You need your mama, you need your pappy, you need everybody to kind of help you out. Right. Then there's independence. You get a little bit older. Now you're living on your own. You're able to take care of your bills. You might start dating somebody, woo-de-woo. Then after that, the most mature level of dependence is called interdependence. And that's like group economics. And that's what all wealthy people do. They invest in each other. So like when I first got in this business, it's me. I need to learn the skill set. And I'm halfway still in that mode. But then very quickly you'll learn it's not about you for real. Like once you gotta get yourself aligned. But once you're aligned, you're on your path, you'll realize like, dang, so many other people need help, right?
But what if you can't get in the line? What if you like, dang, I see it, I'm going, but I gotta pay my rent in 5 days, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the market.
So and because you could get your rent in a couple minutes, but you gotta know what you're doing,
What if I don't know?
And if you don't know, that's that emotional trading stuff that I was talking about. You gotta get back on your spiritual, like you gotta get back right.
Get back.
And
it's not lit.
And it's true. The universe will provide if you open. Like it might not be the market. Someone might call you and be like, "Oh yeah, boom, I got this for you," or like, "Oh yeah, boom." Like it may go through the markets and it may not be. But it's still spirit. It's still spiritual. This whole existence is spiritual still.
So like, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur nowadays. Is working at a job really bad for you? Like it's like almost a trend not to work. Like not even saying like a physical job, but just getting a job in general, like anything. So like is it really bad? Like,
so I look at it. There's a tribe now.
Let me ask you this before I cut you. Sorry for
no, you're good.
You think because you do both. You had both before. You worked at the jobs. And now you're an entrepreneur. Let me ask you this: which one do you prefer to do? Which one do you like to do more? You like to work by yourself, or you like to work with?
I love to work with people, right? I like if I'm working a job, I like a job that's highly organized, and we have a team, and we have a flow.
You say all that, you know what I'm saying? Like 99% spiritual, 1% physical, right? Now, what is the end goal of doing Forex? Like, is it like, let's speak like, does it help you build generational wealth?
Oh, yes. You tapped it right there. It builds generational wealth. And the actual company that IMA Academy that we're teamed up with, the owner, Chris Terry, he set it up for, because we didn't answer that question. So he set it up for, if you can still make money after you pass on, like you can still,
like when you die,
the money will still keep going towards your family if you build up an organization.
Okay.
So we say we're a brand of CEOs, but your question was about the money.
Right.
So we have 3 packages towards the finance stuff. They have e-commerce as well, and they're dropping a retail package. Not retail, excuse me, e-commerce and real estate. Because it's really for entrepreneurs. This academy is really for, the first question you see is I am. Like, what will you become? That's on the website, literally. Okay. What will you become? That's why it's called IMA Academy, like I am. Who are you? And when you learn about that spiritual stuff, I am is one of the most powerful statements. Just that is, I am.
I am. What does that mean? I mean, a lot for real.
Yeah, and it's all of that and some. Because when you start to say I am happy, now you're adding stuff to it. You're applying stuff to you. But when you just say I am, that's your whole. You're acknowledging that you're alive. You know, you're acknowledging that you're here, but you are whole. I am.
Right.
I Am Academy. Like, it's deep. But okay, so let me get this real quick. So you pay. So if you want to do all 3 academies, which I'm a part of, which is the Forex, high frequency or hyper frequency Forex, and digital currencies, you pay your first month $325, and each month after that, or $324, each month after that is $275.
Okay.
If you choose the individual courses by themselves,
I heard it's different though. Is it different prices for?
Well, yeah, if you get the one academy, then it's $234 and $170 something a month.
Okay.
And so what you're paying for, so that's, you can join and only be a student. You get what I'm saying? You join and only be a student.
Okay.
Now, if you get 2 people in, so say I'm doing it, you're like, yo.
You know what I'm saying? I got the queen right here. Money Monet. Really the money, like. Johnny Manziel. You feel me? And you know, I got the one and only booty, you know what I'm saying? It's the show Mad City. You heard?